Hi everyone, and welcome back to the 12 Days at FCC. Today we're going to be learning about Isaiah 40 verses 6 through 11. A voice says, "Cry out." Then I say, "What shall I cry out?" Say, "All people are like the grass, and all their strength is like the flowers of the field. The grass dies and the flowers fall. This is because the breath of the Lord blows on them. Surely people are like the grass. The grass dies, the flowers fall, but the word of our God will live forever. Jerusalem, you have good news to tell. Go up on a high mountain. Jerusalem, you have good news to tell. Shout out loud the good news. Shout it out and don't be afraid. Say to the towns of Judah, here is your God. Look, the Lord is coming with power. He will use his power to rule all people. Look, he will bring a reward for his people. He will have their payment with him. The Lord takes care of his people like a shepherd. He gathers the people like lambs in his arms. He carries them close. He gently leads the mothers of the lamb.
Hello, we're the Knutson family. I'm Neil. This is my wife, Laura Lee, our son, Will, our daughter, Haley, and our youngest son, Sam. And today we're going to tell you a little bit about how God has richly blessed us with a third child. We didn't necessarily plan on having 3 children. We originally only planned on 2, even when we were dating and early marriage, and we had Will, and then we had Haley, and we thought maybe we were done. And but God had other plans. And one night, in a dream, God revealed to me that we were going to have a third child. And I told my wife, Laura Lee, about it, and she laughed at me.
So a couple months later, God talked to me as well. I was sitting right here in the pavilion, and he just came upon me and whispered to me and said, "You need to have a third child." And I was like, no, I don't think so. But he just really put it upon my heart that somebody was missing in our family, and I had a lot of fears. I said, "Well, Lord, I already had 2 pregnancies that were healthy. What if this one's different? What if we have a miscarriage? What if all these different things happen?" And God kind of just silenced me and said, "Don't you think I can handle this? I am God." And it was a really humbling experience for me. We went home from church, and I could hardly even explain to Neil what it was. I was just crying and crying and crying, and he's like, "Well, what is it?" And so I said, "God told me to have a third child," and I was teary, and he's like, "Oh, finally he told you." And now, because he told me a long time ago, and it's just amazing how God works through different ways of speaking to us, and how, who knows, maybe God told me several more times before that, and I just never heard. So that's really interesting that he can talk to us in so many different ways. So as we were really turning this over, and God really put it upon me that Hannah had begged and begged God for a child, and he blessed her with Samuel. And that is where Sam's name came from, is because we knew that God really had plans for Sam. And we don't know what they are yet, but we're excited to see what God has planned for his life. And so his name came from the Bible and from Hannah's experience. So that wasn't the end of our fears. When we came upon our 20-week ultrasound, I was fearful that the doctor was going to say, "Oh, you're having a girl." And I would say, "Wait a minute. God told me we were having a boy. Was I wrong?" I just had this great fear that maybe I had misheard or something like that. And God just relieved those fears right away when we found out he was a boy, and just really a part of our family. So Sam was born, and we realized that our family was complete. It wasn't complete without him. We were missing somebody, and we just didn't know that until he was finally a part of our family with us.
So he has brought lots of things to our family. He's brought joy and laughter, but most importantly, it's helped us to learn true reliance on God to provide. And obviously, we were outnumbered. It's 2 on 3, so that's always an adventure. The more we rely on him, the more he takes care of us, and in all things, over and over and over again. So from our family to yours, we want to wish you
a Merry Christmas!